What drives a person to do the unthinkable? What turns a seemingly empathetic person into a sociopathic killer like Jigsaw?
I want to play a game. The rules are simple. All you have to do is sit here and talk to me.
John Kramer was a happy civil engineer who, alongside his partner Art Blank, ran the Urban Renewal Group, which made buildings to house the poor. He was married to a wonderful woman, Jill, who he loved dearly. The couple was planning for the birth of their child when tragedy struck. During a shift at the clinic Jill ran, she was struck by a robber and suffered a miscarriage. This thrust John into a tailspin of depression, which caused him to retreat from his job and his wife. Unfortunately, this led to a divorce. To make matters even worse, John was diagnosed with colon cancer and a tumor, and due to a mix-up at the clinic he was diagnosed at, they had missed the window of opportunity to treat his illness, and it had progressed to a terminal case.
You think it's the living that will have the ultimate judgment over you, because the dead will have no claim over your soul.
Driven to the edge, John attempted suicide by driving his car off a cliff. Despite his best efforts, he survived and found his desire to live was still strong. This revelation inspired him to create Jigsaw, a masked villain who tests people's will to live. John made the robber who caused his wife's miscarriage his first subject. Upon finding his resolve lacking, he cut out a jigsaw piece out of the robber's skin to symbolize the robber's missing desire to survive. This would go on to be a trademark of the Jigsaw games. Some people who survived these tests, like Dr. Lawrence Gordon, were sometimes then recruited by Kramer to help him in his trials. As Jigsaw, Kramer went about testing the wills of others, changing the Tao of his game from one of personal vengeance to one of atoning for crimes the people had committed.
You're being tested, your will is being tested. Your will to keep someone alive. Can you do that? Can you follow the rules and grant someone the gift of life?
Although Kramer tried to detach from his old life, he couldn't. This could be seen in how the puppet he used for his games was a perversion of a present he intended for his dead son Gideon. Kramer was eventually pegged as Jigsaw. Of course, being a meticulous planner, he had prepared for this and abducted Lynn Dellen to provide care for him so he could survive long enough to carry out the last of his planned games. John was later killed by one of his test subjects, but not before finding a way to ensure his games would continue after his passing, entrusting the continuation to his disciples and wife. For all of his boasting about these games not being personal, it's hard not to see his string of terrible trials as an act of vengeance for a son he never got to meet.
So I ask you, when faced with death, who will survive? Live or die, William. Make your choice.
Fuck you! Who the hell is that?
To find out more about John Kramer, check out the Saw Wiki on Fandom.